So first and foremost, as always, I always like to start these presentations by welcoming each and every one of you to the event. My name is Sean Kozak. I'm the acting CEO on Tickblaze and the NeuroStreet Group. This is a Tickblaze marketplace presentation, and these presentations are designed around strategies, software, education, trading systems, and essentially helping you guys become the best traders possible. Now, many of you have heard of me talk about Sweeper. You've seen me post some images in the actual Tickblaze community. You've seen me trade. Some of you have seen me trade it in live markets, or at least talk about it in the YouTube live streams. But essentially, what ended up happening is because of the live streams and because of all of the traders reaching out to me and asking about, can you teach me the sweeper trading system? Can you teach me how to trade sweeps? Can you show me where you're entering on the strategy with sweeps? And what ended up taking place is we built somewhat of a little bit of a training program around it, but we also built an indicator so that you guys didn't have to identify where the sweeps are. And we wanted to bring it together as a full turnkey trading system so that I could actually teach it to you. I could trade it with you. I can show you my performance trading the strategy, and then ultimately, hopefully, get you guys to understand how to trade it as a day trader or as a big reversal trader. Liquidity sweeps, well, essentially, liquidity sweeps can be traded as a trend trading strategy or as a reversal trading system, but how you trade them is entirely different. And we're going to talk about that here today. Now, we are recording it. Jim is here to help answer questions. I've got a few other people on my team to help answer questions. We will spend some time doing Q&A at the end of the presentation. We do have a giveaway today, so we're going to be giving away a free license. So you're going to want to stick around to the end in order to be qualified for that. And for those of you that are excited, let's get into it. We will be talking about entries today. I'm going to show you exactly the entries and how to trade it. We're going to talk about real trading results, traded in prop accounts. We're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to go through all the details. So who's ready? Give me a yes if you guys are ready to rock and roll. Make sure you guys are in it to win it. Okay. So because we're going to be talking about trading strategies and results and statistics and signals and education, all that, I'm not here to give you advice. Okay. I don't want to give you advice. It's not my job to give you advice. I'm not a broker, a CTA, or your advisor. Anything I do here is strictly for educational purposes only. And if you do place risk capital following this method or any other method, it is at your own discretion. Please type a Y in the chat box that you agree and accept to the disclaimer so that we can move forward and as professionals. Thank you. So today's agenda is very simple. Okay, we're going to talk about a few different things. This tool, the reason we built this tool is so that you can apply it on any time frame. Okay, the goal here is that we wanted to build a tool that showed you where resting liquidity is on both day trading timeframes as well as big levels for reversals. Now, what's unique about this is that you can trade trends with this. You can trade reversals with this. You can trade small time frames with this, but you could trade really, really big time frames with this. I think this is a tool that everybody will have on their charts forever. I know I've already set my layouts up with this because I don't want to look at the markets without having these on my charts. There was some really, really great trades today, even though the NASDAQ took a lot of time to kind of figure out where it wanted to go. There was some exceptionally good trades on gold today. I haven't looked at oil, etc. But what's important is that it's going to show you where the market is going to prime the pump. A lot of traders don't realize that in order for the market to go somewhere, it needs to fuel a lot of orders. And a lot of those orders are going to be from sweeping stops. And how many of you guys have seen it? You know, you see the market respond the best where everybody's stop losses get hit. Type of yes if you hear stop hunts or stop runs or anything like that. Well, it's really not that. I can promise you that the market doesn't know that you have a stop there or somebody else has a stop there. They just see a bunch of orders sitting in one location and the market's going to go in and flip them. And you're going to find some of the best trades are going to be where everybody else is placing their stops. And we're going to show you the rules. I think the biggest thing today is that a lot of you guys want clear. How many of you guys want just give me clear cut freaking rules? Show me exactly what to do so that I can do it every single day and I don't have to fucking think. Right? Like I don't got to question it. I don't got to, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Show me exactly what to do. Okay. So that's more of what today's presentation is going to be like, because tomorrow we're going to just trade it. I'm going to be trading it in the live markets with you guys tomorrow. We're going to invite you to a special VIP training session tomorrow. I'll be trading it live in the morning. It'll only be for those of you that are coming on board with this, but just know that you will be able to trade with me tomorrow, and we're going to do this. Okay. Now, traders want to be able to pass prop firm evaluations. Why? Because the world's changed, right? Nobody's really opening up brokerage accounts unless they're a really, really big trader or they got lots of money. So the industry's changed and the world's changed. The entire industry is now about prop trading. And the reason is because it provides opportunity to people. It's as plain as simple, right? Traders need opportunity, they need capital, and they don't want to be held down. So I want to gear today's presentation around prop trading. I want to gear it around those of you in here that are trading for prop firms, whether that be with ours or with other firms. It doesn't matter. What it matters is that you ultimately understand how to use it to your benefit. And you need to understand the entry patterns. I think a lot of traders, what's going to happen is that you'll get a signal, but you won't know how to enter the trades. Because there's a big difference between entering with an aggressive approach versus waiting for confirmation. Okay. And we're going to get into that. Okay. We're also going to talk about why it's considered a smart money concept. I don't think that SMC is the right term, but a lot of traders that trade SMC say, you know, you're going to look at a liquidity sweep, right? Well, that's just a bunch of kids coining it. I mean, what it is you're targeting resting orders in the book. And the key is that you understand where to get in so that you're not all emotional and you're sabotaging your trading plan. One of the biggest things we're going to do is we're going to keep you on the right side of the market. If you trade sweeps on the wrong side of the market, you're going to be the one that gets swept under the rug. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of the market with a sweep. And we're going to talk about how to get in for a really, really good directional scalp trades. The reason I want this to be directional in nature is that you're going to have a higher probability on the right side of the direction. And then we're going to get into big reversals. So we're going to talk about that. How many of you guys have seen me talk about the 30-minute time frame, bigger time frames, right? Those are the big reversals. Okay. When you trade the 30-minute or higher time frames, those are going to be bigger levels. When you trade the 5-minute time frame, those are going to be day trade levels, which you're going to have a fairly decent amount of those trades every single day, which is why I like the strategy so much, because it repeats itself. Now, a lot of traders are failing prop firm accounts. I know, because we have a lot of statistics on it. And what happens is they're just entering in the wrong spots. I see a lot of the drawdowns that traders take just having data on a lot of traders' activity. And one of the things that we do is we see the MFE and the MAE, you know, like the max adverse excursion and the max favorable excursion. You don't want to be taking trades where you ultimately are taking a lot of heat on the trade. If you're taking a lot of heat on the trade, you're probably entering in the wrong place. How many of you guys feel that you're taking too big a heat, or you have too many stop outs, or you feel sometimes you get into a trade and it goes against you for a lot longer than you want it to before it goes in your favor, or it may never go in your favor? What that's telling you, or it would tell me, is that you're entering in the wrong place. So whatever you're doing is wrong. It's not necessarily you're wrong. Whatever your analysis is most likely incorrect. And that can be fixed. I'm going to help you fix that today. With this strategy, I think it can be really easily fixed. And a lot of traders are trading against the market. Now, I don't mean just a trend. It could be just against the immediate leg in the market. Sometimes traders will be trading against the impulse move. And that doesn't mean you're in a trend. It's a trend on some time frame, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's on a trend on your time frame. But if you're trading against the force of the market, you're most likely going to take more stop outs, or you're going to take more heat. And the goal for me today is to tell you how not to do that and to enter with as little risk as possible. How many of you guys would like to dial down your risk to the point where your stop losses don't need to be big and you can take bigger moves? How many of you guys would like that? If you could take smaller stops and much bigger targets and have a higher probability of doing that. That's what we're going to do. And this strategy allows for that because you're entering where a lot of times most traders are getting stopped out. Okay. The other reason I find a lot of traders are blowing out accounts on prop firms is because they don't stick with a strategy and they flip flop. Um, I'll just tell you why that's happening is because you don't trust what you're doing. The only reason you're switching strategies is because you're either sick of what you're doing or you don't believe in what you're doing or you've had negative psychological factors because of what you're doing and therefore you just feel, okay, I just don't want to do this anymore. And how many of you guys feel that, right? It's not that you wanted to change strategies. You didn't say, okay, today I'm going to change my strategy again, right? Like, how many of you guys feel that that's fair? Like, you don't wake up every day saying, oh, I'm going to flip flop my strategy today because I just like that it's not working, right? Nobody wants that, right? So the goal here today is that, whatever you're using right now, that's fine, but just, I promise you that this is going to stop you from chasing the moves. It's going to teach you where you should be entering with the right mindset because it's actually logical and it's realistically good for you to place entries in these locations. Okay. Now, the sweeper trading system, okay, will solve a lot of your problems. Why? Because it's going to force you to wait and it's going to force you to only enter in specific places. A lot of traders don't do this. They will enter just randomly, emotionally, or something will happen, or an indicator will flip a single, or how many of you guys feel that you're rushing your entries or you get stopped out and then you enter again because you're just emotionally trying to get back into the market, or maybe you fumbled with your entry and you were late because you missed the fill and now you're chasing. These are all reasons because you're not dialed in with your strategy. What I love about the sweeper is that it stops that from happening dead in its tracks. Why does it stop it? Because you're going to only trade where the right locations are, because the software is going to show you where the resting orders are likely to be. And depending on how the market trades into it will determine if you're going to put a limit entry or if I'm going to show you a confirmation entry. I'm going to teach you two ways to enter these trades. And what's going to happen is you're going to be able to pick which one you like best. The confirmation entries are really, really sexy because you very rarely take heat on the trade. And I started doing this and it's drastically increased my ability to just be calm, right? Like, normally I study the losses. And what's important is that when you learn from the losses and you reduce your losses while increasing your wins, that normally increases your expectancy. Now, this strategy, what I like about this strategy is that if you're a scalper, you just trade it on a 5-minute chart. Okay. If you're looking for bigger moves, you're going to trade it on a 30-minute or a 60-minute or a 4-hour. And it really just depends on the type of trader you are. You don't want to be doing liquidity sweeps on a 1-minute chart. That's not really a sweep. There's not enough orders resting on a 1-minute chart for it to actually do anything in the book. So why you would want to not go down less than a 5-minute chart, because it's dangerous and it can be risky. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you where the market's going to likely flip the stops, and it's going to give you really, really strong reactions. Now, there's a big difference between taking really high probability trades and taking more aggressive trades, and I'm going to show you this. But what's nice is that the stop loss and the targets are very clear with what we're going to do, and there's no restriction for markets. So you can do this on any market. It doesn't matter if it's crude. It doesn't matter if it's gold, if it's the NASDAQ, the Russell, if it's Forex, if it's Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. It's going to work on every single market. So for those of you that are excited about that, I promise you this is going to work for you. Okay. Now, what the software does is it creates, what we did was I took everything I was doing manually and I had my development team build a trading system around it. so that it involves trend filtration, so that you're only ever trading on the right side of the market. It allows you to take into account like 7 or 9 different types of moving averages, whether it's volume weighted, simple, exponential. And what it does is it creates liquidity levels on the ranges of certain price bars. You're going to notice that it's not on all price bars. And there's a reason for that. It's not meant to be on all price bars. In fact, the best sweeps are going to happen when the market pulls back into certain locations, and then the market let me give you an example. I think this is better for me to draw this so you guys can understand this, okay? If the market's going up like this, okay, and the market pulls back like this, and then it does this, the market can see that. Everybody can see that. Everybody can see that low. Everybody in the world can see that low. Nobody knows if you have an RSI on the chart or if you have an EMA on the chart or nothing, but everybody can see the low. And every single candle has a high and a low range. And this is why liquidity sweeps are so important to understand, is that if you understand price action systems versus indicator-based systems, remember that when you base your strategy on price, you're trading what everybody else can see. And everybody has to make decisions off of the information that you can see. If you trade it off of an RSI or a stochastics or a MACD or a moving average or whatever, nobody knows that you're using that. And therefore, it doesn't mean that it's going to hold price. But when the market peaks its heads like this, then most people are going to put a stop loss down here. Or when the market was coming down and it didn't get any further, whatever was happening on the order book, right? There's orders in the dome or liquidity, etc. That just means that all of the orders from here to here got used up on the way down, but there's still leftover orders here that are basically resting right here. And what happens is that a lot of traders think, oh, the market runs my stop loss. If the market comes down here and hits the stop loss, they say, oh shit, the market hit my stop. They were hunting for my stop. No, a lot of times the market needs to come deeper into the order book in order for it to fuel the pump to go higher. And the reason that's important is that you need to understand what the market needs to happen. Supply greater than demand or demand greater than supply, right? Whatever has to happen, if there isn't enough buy orders, the market's got to go lower to find them to go higher. So what's important is that in order for the market to go higher, the market needs to trade lower to fill orders to go higher. A lot of people don't understand that. In fact, I didn't understand that until I started trading liquidity levels like this, because it started to make a lot more sense to me. And in order for the market to go higher, the market needs to trade lower to fill orders and absorb that liquidity. Does everybody kind of understand that? If you're going to use Renkos, or if you're going to use range charts, or if you're going to use anything like that, use it for timing, but don't use it for the levels. Okay. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Okay. Now, the reason I find that most traders don't want complicated strategies. Why? Because most traders are sick and tired of them. Okay. One of the things that I will tell you is that you could use a time-based chart, you could use a volume-based chart, or you could use a tick-based chart, not a range, not a Renko. Anything that is a variable range candle that has big wicks or small wicks, and anything that does this, you could use with this system to determine the levels. Okay, Renko and range will be great for timing. However, if you're going to use the software, you're going to want charts that have variable ranges where the highs and the lows of the wicks can be seen by the masses. And the key is that once you understand this, you're probably going to question, like, why the hell was I doing anything else for a long period of time? And you know, what I ended up doing is I started trading this, and I started trading this a lot because it happens every single day. I was trading this in the live streams. I was trading this outside of the live streams. This was a trade I took on a liquidity sweep. It was very, very successful. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you a couple other trades I took. This was a great trade, and I'm going to show you that this was a really, really great trade. Now, you're going to see that like it's harder to do on a manual chart, which is why we coded the system. But I wanted to show you, I'm a big believer of doing things first. If it has a really, really good success ratio, then I will have my development team. I will invest a lot of money having my coders code things, build things, test things, and to make it good. Because if I can improve my efficiency, then I can improve everybody else's efficiency. How many of you guys would agree with that? Prove it first, trade it first, then build something to ensure that it can be done better. Anybody here agree with this? Or would you just like for us to build a bunch of garbage and then just put it out there and then everybody else struggles? No, it doesn't make any sense to do it backwards, right? So here's a couple of great examples. Like this was a trade I took here. And, this was, it came in, there was liquidity here and it came in and you can see there's very little heat here. And it came up and it gave really, really big trades. And then there was also here, there was just another level here that I hit and very little heat. And there's a reason for it, is when you understand what the liquidity is doing and you place your orders where the market needs to fuel the pump, you're going to find that you're going to see that it's going to give you really good trades. Now, when you combine it with, say, Striker, and you combine it with options levels and stuff, like I've seen incredible results. You do not need the Striker for this. I'm just showing you images of my trading charts while I was trading it because I like to use Confluence, but it's not necessary. No. Now, Jim, what I love about the strategies that we bring to the marketplace is when I do really well with something, I need to do something really, really well in order for Jim to want to adapt it. And Jim, maybe you can come on the mic for a second and just share. I was trading those prop accounts. Mm-hmm. And out of how many was it? 800, 900, 700? How many traders was it at the time when we had the conversation?
At the time, yeah, it was somewhere between 500 and 700. I don't remember the exact number, but somewhere in there, yeah.
So I was trading the live streams for about 2 weeks, and I was trading the sweeper trading system. And I went to Jim and I said, Jim, we gotta build this, and we gotta bring this to the traders because I'm doing better than I've ever done before. And he's like, I know. I'm like, what do you mean? I know. And tell me what you said, Jim. Tell me what you said. Tell me what you said.
Yeah, I watch all the traders, right? Because I'm always looking for who's doing the best, who can we scale from the trading side, because I'm the risk manager on that end. And so, and I watch the traders, and Sean's over there just killing it every day, just completely demolishing what anybody else is doing. And when he was trading this, he was the top trader in all of Prop Shop Trader the entire time he did this. So there's
I
something to
haven't
be said
traded.
there.
I haven't traded in 2 weeks. I've been on vacation and I
Yeah.
was traveling, but like I haven't run a live stream in a couple weeks. But like for the time that I traded sweeper, uh, I was the most successful trader out of like 600 traders.
Yeah.
And I said to Jim, I said, you got to go trade this, Jim. Now I don't trade prop accounts for my own profit. Like I use it for education, right? Like I don't take payouts. That's not my business model. I just do it to teach and show traders that it's possible. But I said to Jim, Jim, go do this. And then Jim goes and does it. And then Jim starts posting in the freaking community, because if Jim's going to do it, Jim's got to see it's got to work, because if it doesn't work in Jim's mind, then we don't build it.
Yeah.
Right. And what was your response when we started looking at this?
Yeah, I mean, I went to the charts like I always do. I always go look at the charts and start marking up the charts, make sure it's, I have my head wrapped around it and that I see the edge and that I know what I'm looking for. Is there anything else that I can bring to the table from a standpoint of filters or anything like that? But it looked really great. And, as with anything that is very simple, we have this tendency to second guess it, right? I did that with one and done, for example, or some of the others. And if it's too simple, you kind of question it. Like, it can't be that easy, right? As traders, we tend to overcomplicate things. So I'm looking at it and just trade after trade after trade just looked great. So I put a few trades on, and these are a couple of the trades I took in the same day. And if you notice where the entries are, I know it's kind of small, but where those white circles are, there's the two white circles. That's where I entered on both of those trades. It was as close as you can get to the tick on the entry
Yes.
with zero heat. Those trades are so clean. It's absurd. And so that's what I
Yes.
love about this system is if you're a tight stop trader and if you're wrong, you're wrong. You don't mind getting out, wait for the next one. This is an amazing system. You can do really tight stops and big, by doing that, you get bigger targets. So it's it's pretty
Bigger
insane.
targets, bigger R multiples with
Yeah,
less movement in the
exactly.
market. And so thanks, Jim. I'm
Yeah.
gonna shift gears for a second. So I wanted to show that it was possible to do something here. And so I went and I got a bunch of 500K accounts. And I traded this on the sweeper. In 5 days, I passed all 500, all of, how many accounts was it? I think it was maybe 10. Okay, so it was 10, sorry. I had 10 500K accounts, and I did it in 5 days. The biggest accounts on the prop shop side doing sweeper, because I wanted to show everybody that it does not take a long time to do things with the right strategy, but you need to understand how to execute and manage the trades with the right strategy. So I just want to share, this post is inside of in the community, and you can go and search my name and you can find it there. It's there. And I just wanted to share with you guys this, because this is really possible with the right edge. And these were trades that I took. And these were the sweeper system, and these were trades I took in the live streams. This trade I took specifically in the live stream because I was trading the live stream, and I said to traders, I said, watch the fake out on the opening range. I'm going to take the sweep on the 5 minute as it trades down. And it was just an amazingly good trade, and catch the entire move, because if you understand where the entry should be and where you should be trading it, you should not have any issues with this type of a strategy. Now, why am I sharing these with you? Because a lot of traders, they don't believe that they can do something after they've struggled. And I'm here to tell you that that's the furthest things from the truth. A lot of times traders are trading the wrong system for them. And a lot of times traders are just plain and simply just trading too much nonsense. Here's another account. I did, this was during a live stream. It was about couple weeks ago, and all of these are actually on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch me trade this live, I mean, you can go to our YouTube channel and just go to the live streams, and you can just, I talked about the sweeper. I talked about the sweeper for weeks as I was trading it, but I wanted to share with you this, and I just wanted to share that this is real. This was done in front of hundreds of traders. This isn't just some smoke and mirrors. Like, this is actually my trades, trading it. And these were the results. Like, these were the results of me trading the sweeper. I took a couple trades of other strategies, but the majority of these trades were sweeper trades, because I was really trying to prove the narrative around this and ultimately show everybody it's possible. This is just showing it, right? Like, you can see the capped on that, and this was just me while I was staying before I went on the holiday. Now, I want to show you this. This was the track. This was it while I was trading it. And like, this was every single day. Boom, 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 just trading it. Okay. And the key is that it is possible. You just need to understand how to do it. And you need someone to teach it to you. How many of you guys would like to see that be your reality? Yes or no? How many of you guys would like to learn this? Yes or no? Okay. We're not going to go into the weeds on a bunch of other stuff. Like, seeing is believing. I took some trades today. There was some banger trades today. So let's go into the charts and just show some examples. Okay, let's do that. Let's talk about it today. So there was a killer short that just happened on the NASDAQ. Killer short. So what, I've got a workspace here because I like to look at a few different things, but I'm going to look at the sweeper. So what the sweeper has done, what we've done is we built a tool that is really sexy, and you can use, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trend filters. So if you wanted to use like different types of trend EMAs for direction, you could use volume weighted averages. You could use EMAs, simple moving averages. I'm just using an EMA for the purpose of this. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about this for a second. If you're going to trade the 30-minute chart, I would like everyone to write these things down. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you some golden nuggets. Okay. Sweeper, golden nuggets. Number one, 30-minute charts are big reversals. These require an entry pattern for engagement. Okay. 2, 5-minute charts are day trades. These don't require entry patterns. You can engage with limit entries. And then we're going to do this. Odds enhancers. First sweep on new shift equals awesome. Sweeps in strong trends equal awesome. Okay. So a lot of traders, they want to know the growing pains of a system. Okay. I'm here to shorten your learning curve. Most traders, they buy something, they try to trade something, and they muck it up because they haven't learned all of the bad practices of a system. They have to go through the mistakes. I'm here to just take all those away from you so that you don't have to do this. Can you guys take a screenshot of this? Jim and I have put together a cheat sheet for this system, and I'm here to add to that cheat sheet by giving you Sean's golden nuggets. How many of you guys like to learn these things? Now I'm going to teach you what these mean. We're going to do this, and then we're going to trade it. Entry pattern, we're going to talk about that. Joanne, we're going to talk about that. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. Okay. Now, I'm here to tell you that by changing the trend filters, your sweep levels will change. Okay. The way that we have this is that we require the trend filters to be engaged before we engage in the sweeps. So you're going to notice that, you know, if I look, I'm going to just turn these off so there's no confusion here. There we go. So let's just do that. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So remember what I said. If you're going to trade a 30-minute sweep level, what do you require? Read this. If I'm trading a 30-minute sweep, what do I require? If you can read, you can see it. You need an entry pattern. Okay. So this was a sweep. Let's come in here. We had a trend shift. Okay. Big up bar. This was this morning in the Globex session. I'm going to go over today's price action so you can see it. Okay. What has to happen on a 30-minute candle? That's a lot of trading. A 30-minute bar is a lot of price action. Like that's a lot of orders. A 30-minute candle as a day trader is like, shit, that's like macro, right? If you're a scalper, a 30-minute time frame is a pretty darn big time frame. But there's some really, really big trades. Okay. There was a sweep right here. I'm going to put some circles on this in the Globex session last night. I'm going to put a little box around it. There was a really big sweep right here. Okay. There was a sweep right here. And there was a sweep right here. There was 3 sweeps in the Globex session. We're going to go in on the 1-minute chart and see that. And there was also a sweep right here. Right there. Okay. Now, there's a sweep right here. Okay. We're going to go into this. So let's go and let's take a look on the 30-minute chart. If you just put pending orders, and I've done this, and I'm sharing my growing pains as a trader, because if you take a look at like the 30-minute time frame, sometimes this could go all the way up here, sweep, 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 and then prime it all the way down. Do you really want to get stuck holding on to a chart that the 30 minutes engaging for big traders? Like the institution is going to drive the market wherever they're going to drive it. Do you really want to be stuck on the wrong side of that when they're driving that fuel pump? No, you don't want to be on the wrong side of the 30-minute chart. Why? Because that's the bank's charts. These guys are moving money around. You don't want to be on the wrong side of a 30-minute chart. So what I like to do on the 30-minute time frame is I like to identify the levels, and then I will go down to say a 1-minute chart, and I will wait for confirmation on those time frames, or a 2-minute. 2 minutes a bit big. So what's confirmation? Let's talk about that. Confirmation equals an EMA cross or supply demand patterns, like the 3-bar patterns. I'm going to talk about these. Now, what's really sexy about this is that it's really easy. Let's go into this. Let's go back and find the 1 minute on the NASDAQ. Let's go back and find it. I'm going to turn off all of these so you don't see anything. There we go. Just move all this so it's clean. So these are the sweep levels. Okay. And in the overnight session, you see where it swept. Okay. The market swept right here. Now there's two types of traders. There's the aggressive trader, and then there's the conservative trader. This was the sweep level right here. And it swept it right there. Okay. If you placed an entry order here, it would have been great. But what if it just started doing this? How many of you guys have been in those situations where you put an order in and all of a sudden, holy shit, the market's going against me? Yeah. So there's two things you can do. You can wait for a pattern to form, rally-based drop pattern, or you can just wait for the 1 minute to cross the EMAs and enter on the pullback and just take the trend. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. You identify the sweeps, let the market show you that it's reversing, and take the pullback on the new direction. Very simple. You can enter right here as it pulls back into that EMA and just ride that trend down. Why? Because this is a 30-minute level. 30-minute level. So if it's sweeping liquidity here, they're most likely going to try to target this and push through it. Have to. Okay, now let's go back and show you another example. They came back up and did it again. There it was. Okay. Now, rally-based drop. There's two ways you can do this. Rally-based drop pattern. How many of you guys talk about the 3-bar patterns when I was in the live streams? Supply and demand patterns. There's demand patterns. There's the drop. Then there's the base. And then there's the rally. And then there's the rally. There's the base. And then there's the drop. How many of you guys remember me talk about this? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. So you get the rally, base. There's the drop right there. Boom. Okay. And you can do this. Okay. You can enter on the pullback, trade it back down. There was the other sweep right here. Take a look at this. It came back up, swept the highs right here. There was the high sweep. What'd they do? They pushed down, pulled back to the EMA, and dropped. Two really killer trades right here, retesting the EMAs as it breaks back down. Really killer trades. You're not entering on the sweep, you're entering on the confirmation. If you enter on the sweep, just know this, that you're taking in a very aggressive entry. The 30-minute can drive up or down very heavily. Does this make sense to you guys? Now let's continue down. This was the sweep right here. This was the level right here. I'm going to draw it. This was the low right here on the 30-minute. And that was the sweep right there. So this was the low of the 30-minute candle right here. And then basically this was the sweep. So as the market came back down, it swept the liquidity, it crossed back up. You had an opportunity to enter on a pullback literally right here. You don't take the heat. You let the market show you that it's sweeping, and you get up and then you ride that bad boy. That was the first pullback on the 30-minute sweep in the new direction. That's a big freaking trade. On a NASDAQ, that's a massive trade. Like, these are massive trades. Massive. Okay. And they happen every day. And the reason I started looking at confirmation entries is because I got stung on a couple aggressive entries. And I started going back to study all of my entries. And I just love not taking heat. I don't like taking heat. I don't like when the market shows its head, and I don't like the makes me feel. How many of you guys are on my side of the conversation? How many of you guys like taking aggressive risk? I don't. And so I just want to share that with you. Now let's go back and take a look at some of the more recent entries. So take a look at this. How many of you guys were watching the NASDAQ today and you take a look and it just plowed through all three of those levels? Yes? Okay. Using confirmation will keep you out of that heat. And then ultimately, as soon as it transitioned to the short, take a look at this big wick right here. Take a look at that was the market open. But guess what you would have been able to do on that? You would have been able to let the market transition its sweep right there. The market crossed, took out the sweep right here. These red lines are sweep levels. And what we're going to do is we're going to just draw a little box around this. This is today's price action, so it can't get any more recent than this. Let's just take a look at that. Let's go back in here and let's just keep going. And then take a look at this. There was another one right here. Came in, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to draw little circles and boxes around all the opportunities that happened today. And then we're going to do this tomorrow together. We're going to trade it. And there was a big sweep right here. Big sweeps. Big ones. Big, big, awesome trades. Big, big, profitable trades. And we're going to talk about this. Let's go here. So this was the drive up. Boom. Okay. There's two types of entry patterns. You can enter on the EMA cross, or you can enter on the 3-bar patterns for supply or demand. So let me show you this. This was the push up, rally. That was the base candle. And then we enter here on the break of the base. That's the supply pattern. Rally, base, drop. There was the entry short for the massive sweep to the lows. So this was the sweeper here. This was the 30-minute level right here. It came all the way across. They drove it all the way up. If you waited for the EMA cross, you would have entered here, right? But if you entered on the pattern here, you could have dropped it all the way back down. And I like to trade the EMA crosses when the market's thin in the overnight. I like to trade the supplier demand patterns in the current sessions because price action tends to be a little bit more accurate. And then here's what it did again. It swept all the way at the highs, literally one tick, rally, base, drop. The entries right here. Does this make sense to you guys? Give me a yes. These are killer trades today. Let's continue down. Take a look at this. This was the pattern. This was the big drop. And the entry here, this was the sweep above. Okay. Rally, base. Take a look here. There was a rally, base, and then you could have put a line here like this. Rally, rally, base. The line was right here. And if you wanted to wait for the EMA cross, you could have entered right there as it dropped and it just tanked. Now, the reason you're using confirmation on these entries, these are 30-minute entries. Don't confuse the swing trading time frame or the reversal time frames. Every box here was a 30-minute trade, not a 5-minute trade. There's two types of traders that we're going to address here today. Everything I've just showed you was 30-minute levels. These are massive trades. Does everybody understand the difference between a 30-minute chart and a 5-minute chart? 5 fractals. Okay, really, really big difference. If you're going to trade 30-minute levels, I highly encourage using a timing chart. Okay, give me a yes if that makes sense to you. Let's just highlight this again. This time frame requires an entry pattern. This way you don't get heat on the 30-minute chart, because most of you are day traders and you don't need to be stopped out on a 30-minute time frame. Does everybody understand this? But you're going to take really, really big trades on a 30-minute time frame. And so you don't want to lose the opportunity because you don't know how to enter the trades. Make sense? The 5-minute chart's different. The 5-minute chart is a scalping time frame. Let's get into it. Let's go back to a 5-minute. Okay. Let's turn off all the charts. Let's take a look here. Okay. Now, if we just look at the most recent timing here, okay. If I change these EMAs and I make them bigger, you're going to see the sweeps change. You can adjust the sweeps based off of the EMAs. My suggestion, my strongest suggestion, and this is a really big odds enhancer, on 30-minute charts, on 30-minute sweeper charts, use smaller EMAs. On 5-minute charts, use larger EMAs. Why? Well, because you're going down in time frames. So you want to make sure that you're taking sweeps on the right trend. Take a look at the difference. Now take a look at the sweep here. The market came up, down, pulled back. I'm looking at a 13 period and I'm looking at a 21. These are fib EMAs, okay? Came right up and swept the high right there and dropped down, okay? And the reason we do this and you don't have a bunch of sweeps down here is because you're trading too far away from the averages. And this is where you're going to get the best trades on the 5-minute chart. You put those sweeps near the big EMAs, you're going to get really, really, really sexy trades. Take a look at the trade right here. I'll just go in and we'll take a look at it. Draw a rectangle around this. This was the entry right here. And then here, this was an entry right here. And this one came here. It came all the way up and then it dropped. Right? And let's go in here and take a look at that. Take a look at this entry. This entry was incredible. And look at this entry here. Like this is just a sexy entry, right? Now we're going to get into this. Let's just go down here and take a look at those entries. So the reason I have boxes here is that on a 5-minute chart, you have 2 choices to make. You can enter aggressively or you can wait for a pattern. You have nothing wrong by waiting for a pattern. Even if you want to use a 5-minute entry time frame, you don't have to use confirmation, but you can. And let me ask you a question. What's better for your psyche? These don't require, but you can use them. If you had a chance to maybe miss one trade, but drop your stop outs down by like 30 to 50%, would you be okay missing that one trade? If you could cut your losses in half and maybe miss one trade by doing that, but drastically increase your expectancy, wouldn't that be a good trade-off? Yes or no? How many of you guys would like to drop your stop losses down by a ton and take way less heat? So let me show you what I just showed you on the 30-minute. And there was the sweep level right here. So all it did, this was the 5-minute candle right here. I'm going to draw a little line on it. Right there. That was the sweep on the 5-minute. Okay. That line, that little line is a sweeper level. Okay. And essentially, if you look at what happened when it came into this level, what is this? That's the rally. That's the base. And that's the drop. The entry is right there. If you're trading with confirmation. If you want the EMA confirmation, you can wait for the cross, and then there's the entry right there for the EMA confirmation. Just because you use a 5-minute doesn't mean you have to give up your need for confirmation. I'm here to tell you that if you are using a 5-minute and it sweeps the highs of any of these pullbacks, take a look. This, I'm not making this up, guys. I spent weeks looking at this data. There's the sweep. Like weeks and weeks of just looking at every single level. So they swept it here, right? And they swept it all the way up. Push, 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 push. Why? They need to get the orders here that was above all the stop losses for it to go whoop, drop. Does everybody see that? So there's the rally. There's the base. There's the short. Right there on that line is the short. Your stop loss is here. That's a 3-to-1 trade right there. That's massive. This right here was like a 4-to-1 on a 5-minute chart. And today's price action was shit. Like today's price action was quiet, slow, didn't even move. Here's the entry. Here's the stop. Here's the entry. Here's the stop. They're targeting the lows. They're targeting the lows. And I'm here to tell you that like this happens every single day. Every single day. Take a look here. Okay. This one here. This was the high. Came right in here at the 12 o'clock line. I'm going to go into it and draw it. Right here. That was the sweep. Okay. We did not have a rally-based drop pattern. We had a drop-based drop, which is also a supply pattern. Drop-based drop. But the EMA cross here, you got a really clean entry right here on the 5-minute. The EMA cross right here, you had a really clean entry right there. Really, really clean entry. Now I'm going to spend a lot. How many of you guys would like for me to spend a lot of time during live markets with you, teaching you how to time these entries for crazy, crazy good trades? Because I can teach it to you in theory now, but there's going to need a little bit of hand holding, helping you plot the levels. And then basically, the only other one that maybe gave us a little bit of headache would have been this one over here in the pre-market. And if you use a supply or demand trade, it wouldn't have given you any headache. If you're using an EMA cross, it would have given you a headache right there. It was one trade out of like 7 today. Okay. Now, let's take a look. If you take a look at what's happening, they're sweeping liquidity here on the highs. There's a lot of resting orders up here. There's a lot of resting orders up here. And instead of taking the entry, as it's climbing, grinding, you can wait for the 5-minute to show you that it wants to take out these levels. And it's going to fuel pumps. It's like putting gas. It's like putting gas in your car. And it's got to refill. Like in order for the market to go down, it's got to load up on sell orders. It can't go down without more sell orders. But the last thing you want to be doing is just entering with a limit order all the time and just taking heat on a trade. Does this make sense to you guys? Now I'm here to tell you that like this isn't some like random thing that I just made up. Like I've been trading this for a very long time. Like I documented my stats on this and I traded this. And I took a few opening one and done trades. So maybe take about 70% of this and allocate it to the sweeper. Right. And I'm here to tell you, like I traded it today and I did good on it. Right. I waited for confirmation. Now, a lot of you, the biggest argument you're going to have is, do I trade the 30 or do I trade the 5? Because I know the way the brain thinks, the human brain, like I'm a trader too, so I get it. How many of you guys already having that argument? Well, maybe I'll trade the 30-minute. Oh, maybe I'll trade the 5-minute. Why don't you trade both? Okay. Why don't you trade both? and then wait for the level to give you confirmation. Because there's nothing wrong with trading both. You're going to get more trades on the 5-minute because you're going to have faster price action. But when the 30-minute hits, why not execute on that without hesitation? Wait for the actual opportunity. So let's go to the 30-minute for a second. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ for a second. We're coming up to a 30-minute level right here. See this? We're coming up to a 30-minute level. If it can take out that 30-minute level right here and go higher than that, that's a 30-minute level. There's a lot of orders in there. There's a lot of orders in there sitting above that. Okay. And then ultimately, if you want to take that trade, what I'd like to see is I'd like to wait for confirmation. Now, there's two types of confirmation. You can enter on a supply pattern. There's two supply patterns. There's a rally-based drop or a drop-based drop. Or you can wait for it to sweep the high, give us an EMA cross, and then enter on a pullback and ride the trend back down. That's how you take these trades. You do not need to put a pending order in here and then take a bunch of freaking heat. And what's really nice is you've got time. On a 5-minute chart, you've got time. On a 1-minute, right? You can use it on a 1-minute, or you can just enter on the 5-minute. Either way, it's your choice. I like to enter on the 5-minute for the patterns. So if I'm going to look at the 30-minute chart, I will look at the 5-minute and I will wait for a supply pattern on the 5-minute. I prefer the supply patterns on the 5-minute chart because they're really, 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 really good patterns, right? Like if I'm going to execute, if this pumps up, rally, I'll wait for a base on the 5-minute and then I'll short the breakdown. There's the rally. So what I'd love for it to do is I'd love for it to sweep through that yellow line. It's got to sweep the liquidity. It has not swept the liquidity yet. And there's a lot of 5-minute liquidity here. You can see the highs here. Like there's a lot of 5-minute liquidity here. And so this is really, really cool because you get to see it in real time. And it's got to sweep the 30-minute highs, take out that liquidity. And then ultimately, tomorrow I'm going to trade this with you. I'm going to actually show you how to enter, and I'm going to show you where to take the trades, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to do all this. There it is. They're sweeping liquidity. They're trying to fuel the pump. They just traded through it. A little bit of liquidity there. Let's zoom in so you can see it. They're going to drive it through, and there's the push. Look at that. You see the push? Now, in order for me to want to get all excited and trade this to the short side, guess what I need? I need a basing candle, and then I want to see it break down. Now, if you want to use the 1-minute as a timing tool, you can use, I can tell you this is so simple. Like you just wait for it to sweep the highs, right? And then ultimately what you do is you let it give you its head. Does that make sense to you guys? You let it give its head, because what if they want to just rip it? What if they just keep going, and they're not sweeping liquidity to go lower? What if they're not trying to push this lower and they're actually trying to give us a trend change? Do you want to be on the wrong side of that? I don't. I definitely don't. Not a chance. There's a breakdown here. If it trades, you got 3 minutes before you can execute on that trade. Does that make sense? And if we're going to trade on a supply pattern, you're going to take the break as it breaks down on that base. Rally, base, and it breaks back down. And if you want to use a 1-minute, you can let the EMAs cross and then get on a pullback and then ride the trend. It's your choice. These are my tactics, guys, my little secrets. Do you need to enter like that? No, because sometimes you will actually catch good trades if you put a pending order. I've just seen so many times that in those situations, I would rather miss the trade than to take the heat. So I will wait. There's the sweep. I got 2 minutes before the 5-minute gives me the pattern. This makes sense? Or I can wait for the 1-minute to give me the cross, and that'll be truly when the actual trend is transitioning. That'll be key. Makes sense, guys? I try to demonstrate this as it's happening because I'm telling you, this happens every single day. Every single day, you're going to see a sweep. Every single day, you're going to have liquidity. Every single day, you're going to have price. It's a price-based system. These tricks are my secrets because I really like not taking heat on the trades. So there's the EMA cross. It's coming. I will let it cross. If this doesn't give me a supply pattern, then I'll enter on the EMA cross. Either way, I have an entry pattern where I can take that trade. Michael says this is just fantastic. I'm here to try to help you understand that you don't need to make it complicated. But it is very, very, very successful. And if you understand what it's doing and why it's doing it, you're going to get stopped out once in a while. But I promise you, the trades that you're hitting are going to be really, really big banger trades. Bigger risk and reward, minimum 1-to-1, sometimes 2-to-1, even 3-to-1, because you don't need to take a lot of stop. If the stop loss is above the high, if the high is holding, they're going to transition it back down. Does this make sense? And this needs, there's the EMA cross, right? Right. You're going to give, I would give it another candle. I would give it another candle, let those EMAs actually cross, give it time to show you that it's actually reversing, right? There's the sweep right above the highs, taking out those liquidity levels on the indicator, and it's going to push it down. If you're looking for trailing strategies, you could just trail with the EMAs. I mean, ultimately, just having an EMA on your chart and just riding the trend back down is obviously a good strategy. But I've never really been one on trailing because I just like to have targets, try to make my money, and then, I don't really try to get fancy with it. Yeah. Makes sense, guys? Now, like I said, like this is me trading in the live streams, lots and lots of, right? I had lots of activity with this. And ultimately, like, my stats are realistic, guys. Like, I rode that account up every single day. Up. So learned a lot during that time because ultimately I took excessive heat where I didn't need to. I went back and studied a bunch of the trades in here. And I'm telling you that a lot of the stuff I'm teaching you today is a gift because it's the stuff that I learned along that journey of trading this in the lives. Makes sense? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give somebody a system for free. And then we're going to talk about the cost for you guys to have access to the software, the training, the live training with me. We're going to do some private training. Okay. So everybody's going to fill. Okay. So SurveyMonkey. So Jim, can you explain what you just did there? We're going to give
Yeah,
away a
guys.
license.
Yep. So what you want to do is click that link and enter your name and email and say, I want to win. And we're going to go ahead and pick a winner live during the event. So make sure to go ahead and put your info in there, get your entries in.
So while you're doing that, guys, there was an entry here. It broke down. I missed it because I'm trying to run a webinar, and there was the entry for the 5-minute short. But if you look at the 1 minute, it crossed over on this candle and it pulled back on that bar. So there would have been your entry right there. There it is right there. That's the pullback entry right there. Clean as day. And there was the 5-minute break pattern, and your stop is above the high. And yeah, like you can't deny that. Like, this is just live. It's I'm telling you this as it happens live. I told you as I was doing this, guys, fill out that form. And it drove up on the 30-minute levels. That was an entry short. Yeah, that was a clean entry short. Yeah, absolutely. And let's go in here and put the risk reward. There was the entry right here. There's the stop loss right there. And you just write it down. Write it down, peeling off targets and letting it go. Right. And this is not the first trade that happened all day, guys. This is like, there was a ton of trades that happened today. Like tons. Like there was a ton of them all day. And I love looking at the 5-minute because these 5-minute trends are solid. And when they do start to trend and the market starts to show you what it's doing, it's a gift because the market needs to sweep the highs in order for it to go lower. So when it does that, yeah, it's awesome. But there's two patterns, and we're gonna go over those in the entries. And like, look at that, it's just dropping. It's just gonna keep dropping, right? And the second target's here. First target's already been achieved. We called that play by play. As it's happening, it doesn't get better than that. How many of you guys seen that? You know, I was talking about it as it's happening. And that's a 30-minute level, mind you. 30-minute level, right? That's a 30-minute sweep in the direction, and it's fueling the pump. It's fueling the pump. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, guys, is Jim, you've
We'll keep collecting there for another minute, and I'm gonna go ahead and randomize the winner and all that. So if you want to go over pricing and all that, and by the time we're done, we'll have a winner.
Yeah, so let's go over the software first for a second. What I want to do is I want to just kind of share with you a little bit about what we're doing here. And so I have gold, like the gold trade. There was a killer gold trade today on the rip to the upside, and we're going to talk about this. Remember I said the first sweep in the new direction? So I've got on the 30-minute charts, I've got a 3 and a 13 period loaded. You know, this can change to a 3 and 8, or, you know, like we'll go over that settings tomorrow, and you can change the buffer on this. Like you can take a look at this, like look what, and this is all responsive. I can change the size of the sweep levels. Like I can change them in real time by scrolling the mouse, and I can change the levels. If I want to make them bigger, you can see in real time, you can change the levels here so that you can, you know, just make it easier to see. Essentially, when we look at this, you can turn the trend on and off, right? If you want it on and off, it's your call. But look at gold this morning off the news, and it transitioned off the first candle, and then look what it did right down here. It just swept the low of that 30-minute candle. Now, what happens if that 30-minute candle just kept going like this? That would have been shitty, right? That would have been shitty. Okay. And it's actually not, James. It's all tied to the EMAs. So if I change these EMAs, all those swings change because it has to do with the direction of the market. So if I go in here and I just change this, like if I watch this, if I just put these up here and I switch this all up, put it to a 20, like there's no more swings anymore. Like it has nothing to do with swing points. It has everything to do with the direction of the market. It has everything to do with the direction of the market. Right. So take a look at this, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to just go and we're going to just talk about this. So I'm going to draw a little box here. Just a little box right here around those lows. Okay. That's the gold trade. So let's go to the gold 5-minute today. And let's just take a look at the pattern. Yeah. So this was the gold, and it swept the, let's just draw. I'm going to draw a line. I like to draw the lines. It's easier to see. That way I can actually see it. I'm going to draw a little line here, make it yellow. From the low to there it is. That's the line. So I just like to be able to see it. There it is. So there's the sweep right here. Now, on a 5-minute, there was no demand pattern. You see that? Like it just rally, base, rally. That pattern happened way up here to enter the trade. Well, that to me is too long. Like I don't want to wait for that. So I would actually take a look, and I would go down to the 1-minute, and I would actually take a look at it down here. And when you take a look at the EMA cross, you can see that it crossed here, right? And you had an entry here, right there. So the sweep happened here. They primed the pump, they pushed back, they pulled back, and that was the beginning of the entire impulse leg. And if you think about it, like that was a big trade. Like if you look at the entry on this for confirmation, like the entry was here, right? Like that's well over 2-to-1. Like it just kept going. And that was a crazy good trade. But instead of entering on a limit, which could have easily swept all the way down to here or here, we wait for the market to show us that it's holding. And that's my job to teach you how to do that. And I will walk you through that in live markets. I will help you guys understand it. The software is going to tell you where it matters, and it's going to be there for you. And then we're going to look at confirmation timeframes just to ultimately do that. Yeah. Makes sense, guys? Totally. Now there was a ton of 5-minute trades. We're going to put this up here. We're going to put this to 13 and watch this. 13.21. There it is. So if you're looking at the 5-minute trades on the gold trade all the way up, there was really, really good trades on the way up as it swept here and as it swept here and as it swept down here. Really, really good trades. Yeah. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that and we're going to trade it and we're going to do that. Jim, you ready to announce a winner?
In about 5 seconds, yes.
All right.
I'm just checking the email so I can make sure I got the name right.
Now, the combination of this and what we're going to do here is it's a combination of software, education, live VIP trading sessions with me. I wanted to be able to do this with you guys because normally when you buy a product, you're left to kind of like, okay, I'm going to load it on my charts and hopefully I figure this shit out, right? Like, how many of you guys would like an experienced trader to trade with you and watch you do it and spend some time with you guys? Yeah. Okay. Well, then we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You guys ready for a winner? Who here feels like a winner today?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
You gotta really feel it. All right.
Lady luck, lady luck.
The winner is Carl Mullins. Congratulations, Carl.
Carl Mullins.
You win. Freebie
Good.
on us. So we'll send that over to you right now. So keep a lookout on your email. We'll send it right over.
Perfect. Everybody give Carl congratulations. It's good to congratulate winners, right? You want to feel happy for other people's success. I like that. I've always lived by that. Right? Perfect. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go over pricing, and it is a marketplace product. So let me talk a little bit about this. And we always do big discounts on launch days like this because we're launching it in the marketplace. So this to me is priceless right here. I mean, this to me is me. Okay. I mean, you put a price tag on me and my time and spending it with you guys in the live market so you guys can figure out what that's worth. But I will give you the turnkey plan and system. Jim and I have put together cheat sheets. Jim's put cheat sheets together. But like I'm going to do training tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on this. And then what we'll most likely do is we'll most likely put together another live session with you guys to do this over and over again so that you guys can actually join us and actually watch us trade live and do this together. It's a one-time license. It's not a subscription. So you get the software, which is basically the sweeper trading system. There's no restrictions on which markets or timeframes you use, but I'm going to be focusing on the 30-minute and the 5-minute for the purpose of day trading. Okay. We do provide updates. So as we make updates to the Tickblaze platform, you'll have it. We can give you the desktops. So we can build you out the desktops and give those to you so you guys have access to that. And it does expire tonight because if you're going to be trading with us in the morning, you'll need to have it. So this is not a YouTube live. This is a private AMA where I'm going to be trading in Zoom with you guys. So if you want to trade this with me live, you will have to buy this tonight because you're not going to get invited to the Zoom with us because there's no point in having a bunch of people there that don't trade it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm not going to teach a bunch of people that are not using the strategy, right? So normally this would be about $15.90. This is education plus software, right? And cheat sheets. And we're going to do it for $7.95. Super, super cheap, guys. I wanted to give it to you guys at a super good discount. And, this basically solidifies that. Now, for those of you that are new here, or maybe you're not familiar with Tickblaze, Tickblaze is a free platform for retail, so you don't actually have to purchase the platform. If you are coming through as a prop firm customer, if you're with our prop firm partners, you already get Tickblaze. It's our part of it. So you don't need to worry about it. And it's all for you guys there. And if you're new to Tickblaze or you don't know what Tickblaze is, Jim, maybe we can put the YouTube links from our YouTube channel and give it to everybody in here like that. And tomorrow, I'm going to trade this with you. I'm going to pick the levels. We're going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you how to enter. I'm going to most likely trade with you, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And so I'm going to be going through the strategy. I'm going to be walking you through live examples. We're going to trade the system. I'm going to help you set up specific use cases on 30 and 5-minute charts. And basically, we're going to do over live entry patterns so that you can actually have confidence doing this. And the biggest thing is me teaching you the entry patterns on the entries. The entries are the software is going to do it for you. So all of the sweeper levels are going to be done for you. You don't have to do anything. You just need to make sure you understand when to enter the trades and when not to enter the trades. And that's my job. I'm going to help you guys understand that. Okay. Now I'm going to run a poll. And the reason I'm running a poll is it dictates how many events I'm going to host for live sessions. If I have a whole lot more people coming in, then I'm going to probably post a couple events for us to do this. I just need to know if you're going to, if you guys are taking advantage of this, because, give me 1 second here, pull a poll here. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to run a poll here, guys, because this, here it is. I just need to know if you guys are doing this, because I'm the one that's going to be doing the Zoom tomorrow and I'm going to be trading with you guys. And ultimately I need to know, because if there's not enough people in there, that it'll dictate how many Zooms I host. So if you guys can just let me know if you guys are coming in and doing this. I promise you we're going to do probably more than 1 or 2 sessions. Tomorrow's going to be the first. I just want to make sure there's enough of you guys in there so that I can set up the events. And I want to make sure you guys get this installed and licensed today so that you guys can take advantage of it. Yeah. If it's a no, it's a no, guys. But if it's a yes, or if you're questioning it, just pick yes and come and trade with us. I promise you, you're going to have a trade tomorrow that'll pay for the software. I can promise you that. There's so many good trades out there every single day with the sweeps. It's incredible. And the statistics behind it alone were just phenomenal. Now, I will be trading prop accounts tomorrow. So there's not some, I will trade prop accounts in front of you. I will be doing this in front of you guys just to show you guys. Yeah. The levels are those indicators, Raj. Yeah, the levels are this. Yeah. Raj is asking the success rate. 3 point. Well, I'll show you the success rate. This was me trading it. Yeah, this was me trading it. Right here. Let me just go up to it, and right here. That was my stats when I was trading it. Yeah. I was away for the last 2 weeks, so I haven't traded at all, actually. Yeah. And this was my days over days trading it. Yeah. Yes, we're sending a replay. Yes. Don't confuse algos with this type of a strategy, Deborah. This is a completely 2 different discussions. Yeah, 2 different discussions. Yeah, algos. We have algos coming out later this month for Tickblaze, but they're totally 2 different ball games. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please do me a favor, guys. As many people answer the poll. If it's a no, it's a no. Hey, we understand it's not for everybody. We understand everything costs money, and there's a price to this business. But if you are serious about learning this strategy and trading it, please type a Y in here. If you are placing a Y, then I know we can send you the invites for the Zoom in the morning. We can get you licensed. You're gonna have to purchase, obviously. Yeah. Jim, can you please post the link again for the purchase and stuff like that? And in order to come to tomorrow's training with me, you're going to need to purchase now, because ultimately we need to know so we can send you the invites for the private training session. Yeah. And we'll spend more than 1 session, guys. I want to make sure you guys get access to this, and we actually do some training on this, because if you combine this with other things, like if you have Striker, or if you're looking at other areas on your chart, this can only just be really, really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to leave this open for some Q&A, right? Some Q&A, guys. If you guys have any questions, right, let us know. Perfect. Yeah, not a problem, Ed. Yes, that would be awesome to change out. I'm a lot more comfortable with sweeper concept. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know what Tickblaze is, you can just go to tickblaze.com. That's our website for the platform. And Tickblaze is a trading platform. And ultimately, if you want to, we have a community as well, and you'll get access to this by being in Tickblaze, and you can come in here and We got traders coming here, posting levels and doing all the fun stuff, and you'll have access to it. It's a free community, right? It's amazing. We got 1,000 members in here right now. It just keeps climbing. And if you go here under the marketplace, this is where ultimately all of the products are for the marketplace. But what you want to do is you want to go to the YouTube and you want to subscribe to the YouTube, because this is where all the training is. And right here it is. And I put it in here for you guys. Yeah. Perfect. Now, I anticipate either two things after it's hit the second target here. I anticipate two things. They're going to keep dropping it down to tech the lows, or this will be a quick base hit, and then they're going to come up and sweep higher. Either way, it's already hit two targets, like boom, boom, right? We're just waiting for it to decide if it wants to give us the big trade or if it's going to continue down. The day's over, guys. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I mean, most of the moves are done for the day, and they already happened way up here and way down here. But
That
the reason,
22,828 is a great, if you did take the trade, that's a great target.
what's that?
That 22,828. It's a
Oh
great
yeah,
target.
right down
Right at
here
that
is
wick. Yeah.
a seller target. Right on that structure break is massive.
Yes. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's a
Exactly.
killer good target if you're gonna hold for the bigger move. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I suspect the market to be quite quiet today, because I mean, even the market open, like, it stayed within the opening range for like, fuck, forever. So it's but type of why in the chat box you learned something from today. Hopefully you guys understand the Tickblaze marketplace and the Tickblaze Academy are here to help you guys become the best traders possible. A lot of people question, hey, why do you teach people how to be successful when you own a prop firm? I never fucking understood that. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, why do you not want people to become better traders in your prop firm? People think that that's backwards. I don't get that. Right? Like, it's anyways, we'll never stop helping traders. We will always help traders. Anybody wants to question that, well, then they need to question their brain cells. Give me a yes if that makes sense. How many of you guys want to keep learning from good traders? Who would not want that? Exactly. Fantastic. All right, traders. Well, listen, I'm going to let you guys do your thing. We're going to get you up and running. For those of you that are coming on board, I will see you bright and early for the session. We are going to be trading it live tomorrow, and we're going to be looking at 30-minute levels. We're going to be looking at 5-minute scalp setups, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. So join me and Jim tomorrow. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks again. Happy 4th of July and coming back strong. And I want to just thank you guys. We put a lot of work into getting these out for you guys. And yeah, you'll need to purchase in order to be in that event tomorrow with us. It's a private closed trading group. So yeah. How do I load the cart? It sends me to continue shopping, but nothing happens. That's a good question, Jim. Maybe, Jim, you can help him.
With the cart. You do need to, if you're not already registered in there, you do need to register first before you can actually check out. So if you're already registered, then just be sure to log in and then you should be good to check out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should have the replay out later this afternoon, Patrick. Keep an eye on your email.
Can everybody do me a favor and just type a yes if you are joining, because we really need to send the links to you guys in a special email, and just fill out the poll is what I mean by that. If you haven't filled out the poll, it's either yes or no. It's that simple, guys. Just please, it's a yes or a no. Even if it's a no, it's fine. I just want to make sure that we can get that through and get you guys going. Yeah, because it really is about making sure you guys get up and running. Michael says, how do we be a part of your prop firm? Just go to Prop Shop Trader. Yeah. I will send a link in here. And if you didn't get a poll, then just purchase, Gene. And if you're anybody here that's not familiar with Prop Shop, you can just take a look at that on your own time. Yeah. Yeah. We work with a few prop firms, but that's ours. Yeah. Yeah. Any licensing questions? Pete, are you here? So maybe just check to make sure that there's licensing. Yeah. Presentation tomorrow, sharpshooter? Not sure what you mean. There is an AMA in the morning. Yes, you'll have to purchase you need a license. Yeah, you have a license, so it doesn't, you'd be there. Yeah. Yeah. There is in the afternoon. I'm talking live training. Yeah, live training for the marketplaces in the morning. We're going to trade it live in the group. It'll be a private Zoom, everybody here. Yeah. And then the afternoon, there'll be a prop shop trader event. Absolutely. Fantastic. The software works wherever there's a liquidity sweep, Brian. Great question. And it works on any time frame. You can put this on a 4-hour, a daily, a 30-minute, a weekly, a monthly. You can put it on just don't go lower than a 5-minute. Like a 1-minute liquidity sweep's not a liquidity sweep. That's a freaking high tick, low tick. Like 5 minutes is probably the best you're going to want. Yeah. You could do it on a 15. You could do it on a 60. It's just 30 minutes a sexy time frame because it's an auction time frame. So normally 30-minute levels are profile traders. A lot of profile traders trading on the 30-minute. A lot of banks using the 30-minute. Doesn't execute for you, Joe. It just places the levels. I'm going to teach you how to enter the trades in the morning when we do the session. Yeah, I already showed some of it. If you didn't watch that earlier, go back and watch the replay. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're going to come down and attack that structure break, and they're going to try to come down and drive more. I mean, the trend is strong down, so I think that there's a good chance it's going to keep hitting lower targets. Yeah. Fantastic, guys. So I got about 70% of the people in here have answered the poll. So glad to have you guys joining us. There's a lot of you going to be trading with us tomorrow. So don't worry, I'll bring my coffee and my my A game. Mario says it's not adding it to the cart. Maybe Pete, we can help him with that, or anybody here that wants to get help getting licensed. Yeah. Fantastic, guys. Listen, traders, I want to thank you guys for your time. For those, let's just grab this here. So when you're inside of the platform, Tickblaze, okay, and you got to go to the marketplace. You need to sign up. You just need to create an account. You need to join Tickblaze for free. Sign up. You need to create an account. You can't just buy something. You need to be registered as a user. So if you're trying to buy something, it's probably not adding it to the cart because ultimately it needs to yeah. And I don't see it here. Yeah, right here. So you'll need to create an account. And Pete, move this over to the other category because it does involve software. So it's indicators and strategies. Yeah.
Sure, we'll do.
Perfect. So guys, yeah. Did anybody take this trade while we were in the event? I know some people said they did. Did anybody take the short here that we were calling? Samir says I did. Anybody else take the short? Philip did. Phil, of course he did, brother. It's a good trade. Ken did. Remember, I'm not your advisor, and I did not tell you to do that. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. It was a really, really clean short. Rally, base, drop right here. There was a good trend trade on the back down, and yeah, it was a good trade. Yeah, partial did. Weren't fast enough, Brian. Well, tomorrow we'll get a bunch of them. Tomorrow we'll get a bunch of them. There's a lot of great trades. Yeah. Fantastic. The red and green background is the trend sweeper system. That is exactly what we're doing. We're using it as a trend filter. It's built into the EMAs that we're using. I've got a 13 and a 21 on the 5-minute chart. It really, really keeps me on the right side of the 5-minute chart. Yeah, really keeps me on the right side of the 5-minute chart. Yeah, and then the 30-minute, I have the 30-minute. I'm using essentially 3 and a 13. Yeah, I like the 3 and the 13. It's a really good combination. Yeah, and you take a look, it just sweeps the highs of the 30-minute, just sweeps and then drops. It's a really, really solid time frame. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the cheat sheet says different numbers. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, Johannes. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just I'm going to share with you my sweet spots. I'm going to share with you my stuff that I trade as an experienced trader, and you guys can decide if you want to do what I do or if you want to kind of tweak it a bit, and it's your call. Make sense? Perfect. All right, traders, I'm going to let you guys do your thing. And I want to thank you as the CEO of the company. My team and I are really grateful for your attendance. And, for those of you that are enjoying these events, join us for the next ones. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. We're going to crush the markets together and make some moolah. So bring your game face, guys, your coffee, whatever you do, and we'll see you in the morning. Fantastic. Take care, traders. We'll see you guys bright and early. It's 8:30 a.m. Let's trade the gold open, and we'll trade the pit open, and we'll trade the NASDAQ open, and we'll rock it. Take care.